Ito, naglalagay na nga kami nung tukod. Dami nito, sir, pag nag-ani. Maliliit pa kasi kaya hindi masyado pang napapansin. Pero tingnan nyo, yung nagamit kong paklo this year, ilan years ko na ginagamit, pero this year hindi siya masyadong, mukhang old stock yung nabigay sa akin kasi marami nagpalit ng dahon eh. Normally wala kang makikita. Eh, kaya lang ganun eh. Ayan, dami, sir. Dami bunga. Kakatuwa.
Okay, sir, pag-usapan natin yung the mango industry.
Oh, sure. Sige.
Okay, ano ang pinakamalaking challenge na dinanas ng mango industry? Bakit in the 90s pinagmamalaki ng gobyerno natin na ito ang product na magiging paano ba yan? Main commodity ng Pilipinas sa mundo, no?
Okay.
Pero sad to say, hindi nangyari yun.
Well, hindi pa nawawala yung potential ng mangga.
Okay.
Kasi masarap talaga yung mangga galing sa
Philippines.
Wala akong makitang mango variety na natikman ko na na will come close to yung mangga natin. So, ngayon ang tanong, dahil ganun yung potential niya, bakit hindi natin na hindi natin na kuha, hindi natin na rule yung export market.
Available na po ang agribusiness merch sa Shopee. Ang link nasa description box.
Uh, 8 years ago, nagkaroon kami ng pest problem. So, yun yung tinatawag na sisig fly.
Okay.
So, ang nagiging malaking damage ng sisig fly was during the early fruit set stage. Liit pa lang. Tinutusok na. So, pag tinusok siya at hindi mo na control, you can lose about 90% of your crop. Yung bunga mo, wala. Talagang wala na. Ngayon, dahil insect siya, ang mango farmer, ang kanyang unang iisipin na solusyon, mag-apply ng insecticide. Kaya lang, ang dami na niyang ginamit na insecticide. No? And it went on year after year, no? Kaya lang walang hindi makontrol. It went on year after year after year until it reached a point na yung dating mango farmer na very successful, nag-incur na ng utang sa consecutive failures doon sa kanyang production. Well, minsan may time na kunya 2 years lugi, and then biglang may konting bawi, and then 3 taon lugi, and then yan, slowly marami ng nag-stop. So talagang lumiit yung production, pumangit yung quality, no? Well, the government stepped in to help. However, despite yung resources ng government, hindi pa rin nakahanap ng
appropriate na solution.
Oo, wala rin. So, ang nangyari na lang to support the industry from talagang mawala, nag-ano na lang siya ng interventions.
Okay.
Doon na lang niya tinulungan yung farmer. Kasi ang naging maganda solution lang talaga bagging eh. So meron pa nga tinatawag early bagging. Yung sobrang liit pa lang ibabag mo na para hindi na masira na seed fly. Kaya lang very expensive dahil yung fruit drop mo.
Ang laki.
Pag ganun ka early, kunyari 40 days, baka nasa 70% ang fruit drop mo, 30% lang yung matitira. Kasi hindi mo naman alam, sobrang liit niya kung ano yung tutuloy talaga doon eh. So, because of yung tumaas yung cost, humina na lahat. Humina yung export market, humina yung mga processors, kasi we have to sell at a higher price eh.
Yeah.
Hindi na kaya bilhin ng processor din doon sa price na sinet namin. So, dahan-dahan. Tapos walang supply.
Walang supply.
Walang supply. No? So, medyo humina ng husto yung ano.
Gaano kalaki yung decline, sir? From a major export crop natin to, di ba?
Oo eh. Well, number 3 pa rin siya ngayon.
Oh, talaga?
Oh, so
okay.
Pineapple and banana ata yung una, pang third pa rin yung ano.
Mango.
Pero in terms of ranking sa ano?
Sa world.
Ewan ko, 11? 11 na lang
dati
tayo.
number 1.
Parang
1 or 2.
Number 3, parang gano'n. Hindi, kasi India ang biggest producer.
Okay.
And then, wala, yung Japan halos wala, Hong Kong halos wala. Ang ang nakatulong sa mango industry is yung local market.
The local market.
Kasi yung mga producers na kasama ko, nabebenta nila at a better price compared sa mga processors and exporters sa local market. So the local market kept us afloat. So yung natira na lang talaga, yung matitibay talaga. Yung despite yung problema sa seed fly, nakahanap ng practice na kahit pa paano hindi man luging-lugi. Pero hindi rin yun kumikita ng napakalaki compared before.
Okay, sir, na-mention mo yung processors, exports, and the local table fruit market. Okay. Bakit hindi maganda ang kita sa export at saka sa processing compared to the local table fruit?
Kasi ang nangyayari, yung exporters, kung ano yung prevailing price, doon nila pinapattern yung purchase price nila eh. Even if malaki yung
presyo.
Oo, ang habol nila yung malaking margin.
Doon pa rin sila sa sa baba na presyo.
Even if they can offer a much higher price,
ayaw nila.
Kung man mataas, very incremental lang.
Yeah.
Hindi ko naman sila kontrolado. So, yung producer normally, hahanap niya kung ano yung mas favorable sa kanya. Tas cash pa, magbayad yung local. No, yung exporter at saka normally hindi binabayaran kaagad yan.
Terms yan.
Ngayon, second naman, depende din doon sa export market. Yung Japan, which kasi dati Hong Kong and Japan ang
number 1
main markets natin. So yung Japan naging very strict sa maximum residual limits. Ngayon, connected siguro yung seed fly doon dahil mas maraming applications nung pesticide para kontrolin yung yung insect, normally bumabagsak. Pag bumagsak, kawawa yung exporter. Kailangan niyang ibalik yung mangga dito. So, until such a point na wag na muna. So, yung volume, lang, nag-i-export pero maliit na lang. No? Yung Hong Kong naman, nung nabalik sa China,
Okay.
nawala naman yung direct shipping mula Manila hanggat Hong Kong port. Dati kasi, hindi man kailangan i-reefer yan eh. Lalagay lang sa container, nakabukas lang yung pinto. And then, makakarating na. So, ang mura ng di ba? Ang mura lang ng transport cost. So, yung mga ibang exporter, mga 13, 20 containers a week sa Hong Kong lang yun. Yung Japan din, malaki rin noon. So ngayon, ang naging shipping route is dadaan muna ng China bago pupunta ng Hong Kong. So wala na, by air na. Doon sa naghahanap sa Hong Kong, by air na. So yung volume,
Tumaas.
syempre yung volume mo rin, bababa.
Bababa.
Oo. Pero, well, basically, yung production talaga bumaba. Last year, tumaas. This year, maganda din. No? So, may chance, no? Bago yung Secretary ng Agriculture, pinupush niya talaga yung exports, especially sa mangoes din. So, naman siya? Very skillful in finding solutions. Siguro dahil yung background niya, businessman siya. So that can be of great help para lumakas tayo. No?
Okay sir, pag-usapan naman natin yung local fruit, table fruit. Okay. Still, no? Sabi mo, naging option yon rather than doon sa processor and export dahil mas maganda ang kita. But still, mababa pa rin ang kita. Nagre-reklamo pa rin ang mga mango producers.
Actually, sa local, bumababa siya during the months of late April and May.
Okay.
Yun lang.
Yun lang naman.
Yung period na yun. Pero all throughout the season, mga Pilipino mahilig sa mangga eh. So, very healthy yung Ang laki ng market. And then, yung purchasing power ng Pilipino ngayon because of ilan years ng positive GDP natin, nagbago eh. Talaga ako, naramdaman ko eh. Very strong na yung local market eh. So, kaya lang, pag panahon talaga ng glut, law of supply and demand, bumabagsak yung mabagsak yung price. So, ang recourse nung producer, talagang pupunta siya sa processor. Pero during that time, normally, below cost na yung nagiging purchase price nila. No?
Okay, sir. Bakit po naisip humiwalay doon sa traditional value chain or traditional marketing ng fresh mango locally?
Well, before, when we were starting, yun din ang pinuntahan namin.
Okay.
Yung traditional market. Actually, yung export market. So, yung naging experience namin is dala kami ng truckload ng mangga. So, excited ka dahil ang dami mong harvest. Dito lang, within Zambales lang, dahil ang daming buying stations. No, very strong pa yung export market nun. So, pagdating doon, they'll go through your harvest. normally hindi mo alam kung ano yung
Classification
i-reject
nila.
or ano. Sa size, oo, madali. Weight lang yan eh. Pero dun sa appearance, hindi. So normally, for whatever reason, 30% nung dinala mo, reject. Okay? Hindi na nila kukunin yun. Kukunin lang nila yon. And then, kapag kinompute na nila how much yung value nun, para bang hindi ka matutuwa. Hindi ka matutuwa eh.
Okay.
Parang hindi mo na-gain yung value ng hard work mo. So, and then, ang masama pa nun, as the season goes along, more often than not, bumababa yung price. So, ibig sabihin pala, kahit marami kang bunga, kahit mapuno mo ng bunga yung buong orchard mo, doesn't mean
Kikita
ka. No? So, doon namin sinubukan na we tried to market and sell it ourselves. Sa local market lang.
Okay.
Kasi bilin nung father ko, Rico, bago ka magbenta sa export market, lahat nung the best mangoes that we have, dapat sa ano muna, sa local. Sila muna, Pilipino muna. Very, patriotic. So, we focus dun sa local market. So, yan. So, we harvested, brought it to Manila, naka 10 kilograms na kaing, and then we sold it per kaing, hindi per kilo
Per kaing.
Per kaing.
Kasi sa sobrang dami naman ng harvest mo. Okay.
So, my mom was in charge of selling it. So, syempre, unang tawagan niya yung mga kaibigan niya. And then, nung after a while, dahil nahinog, natikman, nagkaroon ng demand. So, yung kaibigan, dahil isang kaing yun, nagbigay siguro sa kaibigan.
Ng regalo, ganyan.
Until word of mouth. Tumaas yung demand ng mangga. And then, medyo may konting notice dun sa mga ibang yung mga ibang started to write about yun. Mangoes namin. Then slowly na
sa mga media, ganyan.
Slowly nagkaroon kami ng exposure about what we're doing, the products that we have. Yun, and then na-build na yung market.
So yung na-build nyo na market enough to dispose all your harvest?
Well, kasi medyo yung efficiency levels ko noon at saka ngayon medyo malayo na.
Better siyempre ngayon.
Yung productivity ko ngayon baka 3-4 times.
Wow.
Nung before. So sa aking computation, masasaturate ko yung sa 1,200 tons sa niche market, no, hindi naman kasi yung mass market.
Yes.
Yung niche market, masasaturate ko siya. No? But when I say saturate, that means nagsusupply na ako sa Baguio, supply na ako sa Cebu, nag-supply na ako sa Iloilo, sa Bacolod, hopefully Mindanao also. No, nung mangoes doon rin sa niche market nung mga areas na yon. So yun, we're preparing to learn how to export yung mangoes namin. So ang tingin ko baka 600 tons local market, 600 tons export.
Okay.
Hati-hati.
Sir, can you describe what kind of market yung na-develop ninyo? Na hindi ito dumadaan sa palengke, hindi yan dumadaan sa grocery, yung word of mouth na yan, na kumalat, na nag-improve, better quality, better packaging. You even have your own branding. Okay, sir. Can you describe po what kind of market is that?
this market, ang hanap nila is quality fruits. In our case, yung good quality mangoes. Consistent yung taste, di ba? Consistent yung appearance, yung consistent yung product. Okay? Once itong market na to, once yung preference nila is nasa-serve, they are not so particular about the price.
Okay.
They're more particular about yung
The
quality.
quality.
No? So with this market, what we were able to do, we were able to set our price, hindi market price, our own price na tingin namin is appropriate for the effort we put in doon sa product namin. And then this price will be the price for the whole season.
For the whole season.
So kahit bumagsak na ng 20 pesos per kilo yung mangga sa market, yung price namin will...
Yan pa rin. How much po yung price yun during the last harvest?
Average siya ng mga 240.
240, and these people, yung market mo, regardless kung 20 pesos yung nasa bangketa or nasa palengke, they will not buy that. They will buy the 250 mangoes ng Batombakal Farms.
Yes. Ganun yung ganun. We're very lucky we were able to develop that market. Pero malaki rin yung responsibility on our part.
Yes.
We cannot sell them yung below the quality na set na.
Naset na.
No? Hindi ko pwedeng sirain yung trust na nabigay sa amin, no? So yun ang that's what we're making sure, no? Hindi sila madi-disappoint, no? Parati silang masaya doon sa products from the farm. So maraming maraming science, maraming systems para ganun siya lumabas.
Paano niyo ginagawa yan to maintain that set standard? Kasi this is fresh. Di ba, sir? Pwede kang masiraan, pwedeng magbago yung quality from the farm. Pag-transport lang from Zambales to Manila, pwedeng magbago yung quality dyan. Paano niyo yun mini-maintain?
Well, ang unang sikreto namin is over the years we develop the ability to determine the correct maturity of the fruit. So that it's already ready to pick. Minsan 3 days lang malaki na yung difference eh. So we develop the patience, no? To wait for the right time. Kasi during that right time that we pick it, all the good qualities of the mangoes are kept, no? So if we deviate from that, mag-iiba
yung quality.
So minsan ang daming order. Pwede na, di ba? Hindi yung pwede na.
Hindi ba pwede yung
so
pwede
we tell
na?
them, please, we have to wait, no? Ngayon naintindihan na nila. So walang shortcuts, walang and then
walang shortcuts, walang pwede na, walang daya.
Walang daya. So ngayon, once it's harvested, it goes through a sorting process. So the bad ones we take away, no? The good ones we keep, and then we have a classification: Class A, Class B, Class C. So we make sure na consistent yung standards ng classification namin.
What's the basis of classification? Is it the size? Lahat yan maganda.
Iba yung size eh. Classification is more on the appearance.
On the appearance.
Oo. So yung Class A, it's almost flawless. Class B, may konting blemishes. Class C, medyo madungis na. At saka minsan yung shape, hindi maganda.
But in terms of sweetness, lahat yan,
Pareho lang.
pare-parehas lang yan.
Na-discover na rin ng mga ano yun, yung mga customers.
So, okay na sa kanila, Class
Yung mga
A.
hindi masyadong maselan, kunya wala na makuha ang Class A, okay na sa Class C. Kasi once you open it,
it's the same.
pareho na rin eh. Yun. So, yan. So, we make sure. So, kailangan yun, our sorters are also trained and monitored properly. Kasi minsan talaga may ano na pag wala sa kanya yung tamang discipline, nahalo niya.
Mahalo niya. Or baka...
Well, we apologize talaga kung may nahalo, but if ever our attention is called because of that concern, pinapalitan na lang namin.
Palitan or money back.
Or money back. Normally, we offer replace or your money back. Pero so far 100%.
More on replace.
100% they'll wait for a replacement. Ayun. So so far we're very happy naman how we are being supported by yung yung market namin.
Sir, gaano ka-risky yung ginawa nyo na mag-imbento ng sariling market?
Ang pinaka-risk dyan is kung hindi consistent yung mo. Hindi consistent yung product mo. Linagay mo yung brand mo eh. So it can go both ways. Pag hindi yung masarap produkto mo, once they see your brand, they won't buy it.
They won't buy it.
So,
pag may bad impression na dun sa brand.
Wala na. Okay. Diba? So, well, minsan talaga may problema. Minsan pa nga, may nakakalusot, kasi very, yung fruit fly, mahirap
detect.
Mahirap makita visually. So, baka nandun siya sa isang point na hindi na-detect na sorter, nakaabot sa customer. Pagbukas niya, meron ng...
butas. Uod.
Uod. Well, hindi ko naman pwede sabihin, naman yan.
Lang.
Organic naman yan. Hindi naman niya pwede mong, hindi naman, wala namang health issues yon. You can't say that. So, syempre, we apologize. And then, the best we can do is replace.
Okay,
pero nakakahiya talaga, di ba?
Gaano, sir, nakatulong yung branding? That includes yung creating a sticker in each fruit.
Malaki. No? Once na nandun na yung trust, and then nakita yung product mo, it's easier for them to, kuya nakita, it's easier for familiar sila sa brand, easy for them to purchase it eh. For example, wala yung brand, pero sabi mo batong bakal, may konting
doubt sila,
may konting doubt, no? So malaking malaking factor yun, naging effect ng branding sa amin. It carries a certain expectation eh. Ang naging expectation sa farm namin, kapag nandun yung brand, normally yung flavor, yung quality, very mataas. Hindi ako nag-set nun Ang nag-set nun yung market. Wala akong choice kasi yun yung expectation nila. So I have to conform to it. No? Otherwise, madi-disappoint sila.
Sir, paano mo pinoprotect yung farm, yung business doon sa, alam mo naman na Filipino, ang daming fake, ang daming manggagaya?
Well, siguro kasi nagagamit yung namin yung pangalan. For example, yung papaya dito, yung mga ibang farms dito, when they sell locally or sasabihin nila galing dito sa farm.
Batong Bakal Farms.
So, it helps them doon sa selling.
Mm.
Normally, may way yung customer ma-reach kami,
Okay.
no? Through social media or ano.
They ask kung
So,
totoo.
They ask, sa inyo ba to? So that's one way.
Mm-mm.
And then second, kapag wala yung, alam nila pag wala yung brand namin,
Mm-mm.
yung sticker namin, alam nila, walang guarantee of
Mm-mm.
quality.
Mm-mm.
No? Hindi namin ginagaranti na, hindi kasi kami magbebenta pag hindi pumasa sa quality eh. Syempre pag ganun, lalagay namin sticker namin pag pumasa.
Mm-mm.
Pag hindi pumasa, hindi namin binibenta.
Hindi nyo lalagyan.
Wala
Okay.
sticker.
Sir, na-mention mo yung export. And this year ba, you're planning to start the
A
export?
small volume.
This year?
Oo.
Itong harvest season na to?
Yes. Towards the tail end, mga May.
Okay.
Tatry ako. Siguro 10 tons. 10 tons lang. Gusto ko lang masubukan ano ba yung problema, paano yung process, and then paano i-accept. Like sa Singapore, kahit pa paano, may tumawag sa aming isang company. Specifically, gusto nilang benta sa Singapore yung products
Mangoes,
galing dito sa farm.
So ano na to? Hindi lang na to mangoes, pati
Honeydew and papaya.
honeydew and papaya?
Yes. Ano lang, kaya lang that time when they called, hindi pa in order yung aming documents to export. So that's what we're working on. Tinutulungan kami naman ng DTI.
Okay.
No? Meron silang Export Marketing Bureau ata yun, EMB. So they're helping us. They're helping us to sell to them, at saka yung Bureau of Plant Industry. Kasi sila mag-i-issue ng nung quarantine documents, no? Na cleaner for any pest and disease.
Yung na-create mo na market, sir, it's really magandang business.
Imagine mo yung market ko. Some of them have been with us for 15 to 20 years. Yung iba, tumanda na, yun ng mga apo or yung mga anak ang nag-o-order. I'll share some feedback. Yung iba, kunyari mangoes, they buy from us. And then, next season, late kami, wala pang available, they'll buy sa market. After trying yung ibang mangoes, sasawagan kami. Hindi na kami bibili ng iba kasi hindi raw nila makuha yung same happiness nila kapag so they patiently wait hanggat lumabas yung namin. So, well, nakakataba ng puso.
Okay.
No?
So, Sir Rico, sige po.
Yeah, sige.
So, Sir Rico, ito ba ang reason kung bakit nagstay ka dito sa mango industry?
I can't consider myself lang a mango farmer ngayon eh.
Okay.
Parang ang farming sa akin maraming potential sa iba-ibang produkto eh. Mangga, syempre, dahil maganda yung produkto namin. Yung papaya, actually baka, maganda. Pero generally, it's this market. Yung interaction namin with them gives me a lot of fulfillment. No? Nare-realize namin yung yung hard work namin through yung support na binibigay nila by purchasing yung products namin at the prices that we have set. No? Pero generally, kaya ako nasa farming, na-enjoy ko yung lifestyle.
Okay.
Living here sa province of Zambales, mas matagal na ako dito kaysa sa
Manila.
I grew up in Manila eh. Until 21 years old. I've spent more time here than Manila. So hindi gusto ko yung ano gusto ko yung meron ako sariling mundo, no? I have my own place, and then yung mga friends ko rito sa Zambales, marami na din they're very welcoming, you know. Yung friends ko hindi lang yung mga businessmen, pati when I go to market, yung vendor o kaya yung nagbebenta ng lechon manok sa isang stand, kasi nga so yung okay, restaurant owner, so ang dami ko nang na-develop, okay, ang dami ko nang na gain na friends. So lahat ng, kasi for me Manila has become a place na hindi na ganun ka the traffic, the pollution, the congestion. Hindi ako sa ganung sa ganung environment. Mas gusto ko yung maraming space, close to nature, no? Hindi rin ako designed for office type na Yun, mas gusto ko yung rugged lifestyle. So yung lifestyle medyo na-enjoy ko.
Sir, last na, ano ang advantage ni Rico Batumbakal? Bakit successful sa farming?
Ano lang siguro, hindi naman advantage, kaya lang ang dami kong nadaanan na problema. Yun yung halos to the point na parang gusto mo na mag-give up rin. Ano ba to? Ang daming, especially sa mangga, di ba? The past few years. Pero after a while, kapag naisipan mo yun, mas mangingibabaw yung gusto mong ma-achieve. No, yung you're stuck to that you're stuck to that vision. Kung paano mo ta-transform, no? Yung ma-scale up mo pa yung yung business. No? So siguro persistent ako, kasi pag mag-give up ka, tapos na. Wala na, tapos na yung laban, no? So siguro yung naging ko, yung may konting grit, no? Hindi ako I make sure hindi hihina yung ko. I'll stick. I'm very sure I'm gonna achieve yung aking mga goals. Hopefully sooner than later, kasi I'm not getting any younger, no? Pero yun siguro yung yung passion ko sa farming, yung personality and patience ko na hindi quick, pero talagang long term yung long term yung commitment, no? Yun yung I'm sure if I keep on trying, there will come a time ma-achieve ko yung yung scaling up na sinasabi ko, yung automated na yung farming system, may modern akong packing shed, yung market ko mas malaki na yung reach, yung volume of production ko mas malaki na, naka-export. Hopefully maging known brand yung Batumbakal Farm sa iba-ibang export markets, no? And then yung name na mabibigay sa aming province or sa ating bansa, di ba? Yung makilala siya. Yun yung mga, those are the things that that will keep me going until kaya ko pa. No, yung kaya physically, kaya Ayun.
Sir, President ka, sir, ng organization ninyo. Ano pa yung pangalan ng organization ninyo?
Yes. Dito sa Zambales,
Okay.
president ako meron kaming federation.
Okay.
All the municipalities may Mango Association.
Alright.
So, yung federation namin is called Samahang Magmamangga ng Zambales.
Okay.
SMZ. No? So, we're working together with the local government to improve the mango industry of Zambales.
Of Zambales.
That's on the provincial level. On the regional level, I also head yung association ng 6 provinces
Okay.
of Region 3. So, yung name ng association namin is Region 3 Mango Stakeholders Association, Inc. So, Aurora lang ang hindi kasama sa kasi wala siyang mango industry. No? So, that's Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, Bataan, and Zambales. Ayun. What we're trying to do is we're trying to collaborate with the government so that they can craft programs that will help the mango industry. Yung unang help was to raise it up from yung pagkadapa niya.
Okay.
And then after noon, marami naman na medyo nakabawi na eh. After that, improve na yung skill set para mag-improve na yung yung industry.
So, sir, kayang bawiin na tayo yung pinakasikat sa mangga sa mundo?
Palagay ko, madali lang yun. Madali lang yun.
Madali lang yan.
Oo. Kilala na kasi mangga natin eh. No? So, the problem is just may disruption sa pag-supply.
Yeah.
So, once the supply is back, yan na. Okay na yan.
Siyempre, ang key doon, yung paggamit ng mga new technologies talaga. Na holistic na lahat yan, lahat. From the soil to...
That will improve yung efficiency. Yung productivity ng puno.
Sir, willing ka ba pag may mga viewers who wanted to keep in touch with you?
Oo naman. Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, you want to mention paano kanila makakontak, sir?
Paano ba? Siguro yung
the Facebook page.
Facebook. I think that's the best way. We have a Facebook page, yung Batong Bakal Farms. You can visit normally. Pinopost namin yung ginagawa namin. Ngayon they can send a personal message and then nakakaabot naman sa akin.
Ayan.
And then I can respond. And then later on, pag may ibang communication channels, pwede naman ma-establish.
Okay. Sir, thank you so much.
Sir, thank you.
Balik po kami, sir, doon sa harvest time and ipapakita rin natin yung structural pruning using the farm machineries na high-tech talaga. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Available na po ang Agribusiness merch sa Shopee. Ang link nasa description box. Agribusiness, how it works. Instruct, inspire, succeed.